What if I told you that everything you've been taught about how to make a man fall in love is wrong? We've been sold this idea that women have to be perfect, flawless skin, polished looks, impressive careers, always saying the right thing, to be unforgettable in a man's heart. But neuroscience, emotional intelligence, and even thinkers like Mel Robbins and Carl Jung say something radically different. Men don't fall in love with your perfection. They fall in love with how they feel when they're around you. And once you get this, you'll never again waste energy trying to prove yourself to anyone. If you're serious about building real love, not games, not tactics, stick with me, because I'm breaking down 5 things that imprint themselves deep in a man's emotional memory. And no, they have nothing to do with how you look or how wild you are in bed. Bold Truths Daily is your space for raw, real talk about relationships, confidence, and personal power. So if you're tired of recycled advice, hit that like, subscribe, and share this with a woman who needs it. And stay with me, because by the end, you'll know exactly why love that lasts isn't about being perfect. 1. The magnetism of authenticity. Let me take you back to something a 45-year-old woman said to me. I spent my whole life trying to be the perfect woman for my partners, and the only man who truly loved me was the one I could just be myself with. No mask, no performance. That one sentence shook me, because it summed up everything I've learned in over 20 years of coaching women. We were taught to believe love comes when we become something extraordinary. But neuroscience proves it's the exact opposite. The male brain, especially the emotional part, the limbic system, picks up authenticity like a radar. When a woman walks into a room with nothing to prove, fully at ease with herself, she lights up something primal in a man's nervous system. It's not loud. It's not attention-seeking. It's the quiet confidence of someone who has faced her inner storms and still stands strong. This is not a performance. You can't fake this. Authenticity is born when you stop fighting yourself and start owning who you really are, flaws, scars, all of it. I had a client once, heartbroken after a bad breakup. She said, "I tried so hard to be perfect and he still left." Months later, she met a man at a bookstore. They bonded over plant books, no makeup, no agenda, just 2 people talking. They've been together for 3 years now. She didn't change how she looked. She changed how she related to herself. When a woman stops chasing love and starts radiating it, she becomes magnetic. And here's the truth most women miss. Confidence doesn't come from pretending until it feels real. The male brain feels the difference between a woman acting confident and a woman who is confident. This is what I call emotional authority. Women who know who they are, who know their boundaries, and who don't apologize for existing. They don't demand attention. They command respect by simply showing up as themselves. You see it in the smallest things. The way she walks, steady, assured. The way she speaks, calmly, deliberately. The way she listens, without trying to impress. This isn't arrogance. This is vulnerability transformed into strength. The kind of strength that makes a man think she won't fall apart when life gets hard. And guess what? His brain picks this up without him even knowing. It's wired in his mirror neurons, those tiny nerve cells that pick up emotional cues. When a man is around a woman who is emotionally grounded, his whole system relaxes. He instinctively feels, "I'm safe here." And that's rare. That's unforgettable. Keep watching, because up next I'll break down the 2nd and 3rd qualities every emotionally mature man remembers forever and how you can embody them without losing yourself in the process. And if this is hitting home so far, drop a comment and let me know. I'm reading every single one. 2. The power of full magnetic presence. We live in a world of constant distraction. Phones buzzing, minds racing, attention scattered. And yet, presence, true, undivided attention, has become one of the rarest and most attractive traits in a woman. Let me tell you something a man once said in a session that stuck with me. He said, "What I remember most about my ex wasn't her looks, it was how she looked at me when I talked. I felt like I was the only person in the universe." She wasn't planning her next sentence. She wasn't checking her phone. She wasn't performing. She was there. That moment, that pure presence, triggered something powerful in him. Oxytocin, the bonding hormone, flooded his system. His nervous system relaxed, and he felt safe. Carl Jung once said, "The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed." But that transformation can only happen when two people are fully present with each other. Presence doesn't mean you're passive or silencing yourself. It means you are engaged, attentive, connected. It's the steady gaze that doesn't rush. It's asking questions that go deeper than surface small talk. It's embracing quiet moments without awkwardness. I had a client who told me, "I used to overthink everything on dates, what to say, how to act, how to impress him. It was exhausting." But when she learned to simply be present, really listen, ask honest questions, and stop performing, everything changed. Men started opening up. Conversations deepened. And most importantly, she felt at peace with herself. Because here's the truth. When you are truly present with someone, you activate a deep sense of safety in them. Their nervous system picks it up and responds. But, and this is crucial, presence is not about pleasing. It's not about nodding along or agreeing with everything a man says. True presence means you can listen deeply, disagree respectfully, speak your truth calmly, set boundaries without disconnecting. Men, especially those who've been around long enough to spot the difference between shallow and real, value presence like nothing else. In a world drowning in noise, a woman who can offer undivided attention becomes unforgettable. 3. Being a safe emotional refuge. Now, this is where love gets deep. Because every man, no matter how confident or strong he looks on the outside, carries emotional wounds inside. Most were taught from a young age to hide vulnerability, to man up, to push feelings aside. Over time, walls go up, even against themselves. But when a man meets a woman who can hold space for his emotions without judging, without fixing, without dismissing, something profound happens. His nervous system signals, "I'm safe here. I can be real here." That is priceless. But let me make this clear. Being a safe refuge is not about becoming his therapist. It's not your job to fix him or carry his emotional load. It means you've developed the maturity to hold space, to be present while he feels, to offer compassion without losing yourself. I had a client whose partner came home one night, completely broken after a hard day. She didn't try to fix him. She didn't minimize his feelings. She simply said, "It looks like it's been a tough day. Do you want to talk about it?" He opened up. She listened, no advice, no interruptions. Later, he told her, "I've never felt so safe expressing myself." And neuroscience backs this up. That moment reduced his cortisol, his stress hormone, and boosted his oxytocin, the bonding hormone. His parasympathetic nervous system kicked in, giving him a sense of peace, all because of her calm, grounded presence. So remember this. If you can be a safe space for a man's vulnerability without seeing it as weakness, you send the most powerful message of all. You don't have to be perfect to be loved. Keep watching, because in part 3, I'll show you the 2 final qualities that emotionally mature men never forget and how they can transform not just your relationships, but your entire life. And if this is speaking to your heart, hit that like button and share this with a woman who needs to hear it. 4. The quiet power of unconditional gestures. We often think love has to be loud, grand romantic gestures, perfect Instagram moments, epic declarations. But real love, the kind that leaves a lasting mark on a man's heart, is built on the smallest, quietest acts of care. Not because you're trying to impress him, not because you want something back, but because you genuinely care. A text before his big meeting. His favorite coffee waiting on the table, no big deal, no announcement. Asking about that neck pain a few days later because you actually remembered. These aren't strategies. These are what I call emotional deposits. They don't spark a surge of dopamine like some over-the-top gesture. Instead, they activate the brain's reward system gently, steadily, quietly, until your presence becomes linked with a deep sense of safety in his nervous system. One man told me something I'll never forget. He said, "I knew she was the one. Not on our anniversary, not after a big romantic night, but on a random Tuesday. I'd had the worst week of my life. I came home and she handed me tea, kissed my forehead, and said, "Dinner will be ready soon." In that moment, I realized I'd felt cared for every single day, without ever having to ask. That's the kind of love that stays. That's the kind of care mature men crave. But hear me on this: if you do these things with an agenda, if you expect praise or attention or want to control him, it backfires. The male brain is wired to pick up on inauthenticity. If your care feels transactional, he'll sense it. And he'll close off. A woman once asked me, "Isn't this just falling back into the role of the woman who sacrifices for everyone else?" No, and here's why. This isn't about obligation. This isn't about being expected to care. This is about choosing to love freely because it fulfills you, because it feels good to give from a place of fullness. And emotionally mature men, the ones worth your time, know the difference. They value steady, genuine attention over flashy drama. They know love isn't built on fireworks. It's built in the quiet moments that need no applause. 5. The magic of authentic shared joy. Let's get real. Life isn't always pretty. Responsibilities pile up. Stress builds. And relationships can easily slip into survival mode. That's why this last piece is everything. Your ability to create shared joy, real, spontaneous, unforced joy, becomes the anchor that holds a relationship steady when life gets hard. I'm not talking about cracking jokes or trying to entertain him. I'm talking about moments where you both get to breathe, where you find lightness in life's chaos, where you laugh at the silly things, joke about the serious ones, and exhale together. Did you know neuroscience proves this? When two people laugh together, really laugh, their brainwaves sync up. The nervous system reads it as deep connection, as emotional safety. A husband once told me, "We've been married 15 years, and what I love most, on my worst days, she finds a way to make me laugh like a kid again." That's it. That's the gold. Joy isn't a performance. It's not another mask. It comes naturally when you're safe enough to be your full self, flaws, quirks, weirdness, and all. Mel Robbins often says, confidence comes from action, not thought. And in relationships, joy comes from shared experience, not forced effort. When you stop trying to be perfect and start sharing life as it is, messy, beautiful, unpredictable, that's when joy flows. And those are the moments that stay burned into a man's heart forever. Now here's your bold truth. These 5 qualities? They're not techniques. They're not tricks. They're who you become when you commit to your own growth. Authenticity, presence, emotional refuge, genuine care, shared joy. They're not ways to win a man. They're ways to become the kind of woman you'd want to spend time with, whether love shows up or not. And the men who are truly worth your heart? They'll be the ones who have done their own inner work, who see your depth and honor it, who value connection over conquest. When you grow these qualities for yourself, not to get someone else's approval, you don't just attract better men. You attract a better life. If you felt this message today, don't scroll past. Share it. Tag a woman who needs this reminder. And leave a comment what part hit you hardest. I want to hear from you. Because here at Bold Truths Daily, we're not here for surface advice. We're here for the raw, unfiltered truth that helps you build real love, starting with yourself.